On today's Buckeye Roast, we have a full reaction to the Indiana loss, what went wrong, who's responsible, and what it means heading into the postseason. The college football playoff bracket is out, locked, and loaded. Notre Dame was left out, fair or foul. We asked the question, did this wild week cause distractions for Ohio State, leading to the loss to Indiana? And finally, could Indiana be the one that breaks the fabric of how we view college sports with the blue chip ratio? I'm Chris Drew, and this is the Buckeye Roast with Ron and Q, right here on Dead Air Sports. Make sure you like and subscribe.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. We are back for another episode of the Buckeye Roast. It's your boy Ron James here with my guy QP Ski. Q, how you doing?
Well, we had a good week. It only took another week for Ohio State to show up again and disappoint us. But I'm doing good, man. This is a good weekend. How are you?
Q, I've been doing better, but I can only complain so much. The Buckeyes were on a 16-game winning streak, and it finally comes to an end in a familiar score, 13-10 loss to the Indiana Hoosiers in the Big Ten championship game. Q, we did the Bleacher Report post game, and I normally started off by saying the best thing about being blank and O is the chance to go. But the Buckeyes lose, and I had to come up with a new line. I didn't even know what to say to start the show. It feels like it's been so long since we've had to do a show after a Buckeye loss. But Q, I have a positive note to look at for Buckeye fans. Things could be worse.
Yeah, that's a true way to look at it.
You want to know why?
Why is that?
You could be a Notre Dame fan.
So it's going to be Miami or Notre Dame. So, number 10.
No! Are you shitting me?
Without Saturday, Notre Dame had been ranked ahead of them.
Are you fucking kidding me?
While I was upset that the Buckeyes lost 13-10 to Indiana, I was nowhere near that upset, Q.
Yeah, I mean, you had a feeling that this could happen, and just for any podcasters out there, this is why you actually turn your camera on, like to get that honest reaction, because that dude up in the right corner, who knows? He could have been like, yeah, I put money on Miami to get in. You have no idea, but yeah, I mean, in certain way, like, yeah, you could feel like they got cheated, they got robbed, they obviously got moved back a spot with no one playing a game, but they also lost to Miami earlier in the season, and it's also the old adage of join a conference. If Notre Dame played in the ACC, they would 99% chance have an ACC title right now and be having that auto bid, because what, they're going to get beat by Duke? Like, I mean, let's be for real. So, I mean, can't feel bad for them. They usually get the benefit of the doubt. They don't get it this time. That tells them, like, no matter how much money you're making being an independent, it does come with its flaws. And unfortunately, you're looking at what? Tulane and JMU in above you right now. So it's like, that's got to hurt, man. Like, again, I don't feel bad for them. If it's them or Miami, it's like, I get it. They played on the field. But you look at those two teams, you feel like Notre Dame will wash them. And I've hyped Notre Dame over the last few weeks. I thought they were playing really good football. Probably playing top 6 ranked football right now, the way they played down the stretch, but not going to get a shot.
You look at their 2 losses now. I mean, to 2 playoff teams, too, has to be frustrating on the outside looking in. But you know what? I don't care, because it's Notre Dame, and I love to see their sorrow. And if the Buckeyes are going to have to be in pain after a loss, it's the saying, misery loves company. So I don't mind seeing Notre Dame sweat it out. Our guy, Michael, the Notre Dame fan that likes to troll us, was tagging me in tons of posts while the Buckeyes were struggling in the game against Indiana, but has been nowhere to be found since Notre Dame has missed the playoffs.
Yeah, I'm sure he had that same reaction. No, to them not getting in. I mean, hey, man, that's got to suck. But, yeah, I mean, my first question be on Monday, be like, yo, get the AD down here. Like, if I'm part of that press, I'm part of that beat, like, get the AD down here. Like, what are we doing? If we're going to get left out in this situation, that tells you in the future, like, you probably going to get left out. And should you join the conference would be my first question.
Well, in the future, they will not have to because they have been guaranteed a bid as long as they are ranked within the parameters of the size of the playoffs. So if the playoffs are 12 and they're ranked in the top 12, they'll get in. If it's 14, if it's 16, as long as they're within that range, they're going to get in because, they're special.
Yeah, I saw that and I didn't know really what to make of it, but like, why? Then why aren't you in like now? Like, what is it ranking that like we're gonna give a special clause to Notre Dame that if they're in the top rankings, they'll get in just because they don't have a conference? It's like, no, you join a conference or you don't lose the 2 games of the playoff teams, maybe lose one and you get in comfortably. It's either or, but why are we bidding rules for Notre Dame? Like, a lot of teams get screwed and then don't make the playoffs. Like, are we making special rules for Baylor and TCU and they got left out and Ohio State got in because they got left out? No. Like, and one of them won their conference. It's like, no, why are we making special rules? That just doesn't make sense to me. Do I think Notre Dame should have got in? Sure. I think they're one of the 12 best teams. Do we need a special rule to prove that? No. Just get it right when you pick the 12 teams.
Absolutely. Q, I don't want to sit here and talk about a non-playoff team when we are officially in playoff season, Q. So let's get into the show.
All right, play the song. Let's talk about it.
The hell is a podcast? I mean, why don't you just tape it? What are you doing?
You don't have to tape it these days, Frank. You just record it right onto the computer.
Dead air.
Hey guys, a couple things. Make sure you check the description. We're on Discord now. We're launching our TikTok as well and Instagram. All that rollout's happening. So connect with us on there and we will connect with you as well. Again, we appreciate all the support. We're getting closer and closer to 5,000 subs. Maybe by the time you hear this, we will be at 5,000 subs, and I am greatly appreciative of the support, and I'm excited to continue to grow in this community with you guys.
Q, we have zoomed past 5,000 subs as we've vastly approached 8,000, and the goal of 10,000 is right around the corner. I believe the goal was 10,000 by, if you're watching this now, today, and it does not look like we are going to do that, but we still remain committed to the goal of 10,000 before the end of the season, so we are going to keep plugging away at that, and every like, subscribe, and comment helps us get closer to that goal, so shout out to everyone that has already done that, and shout out to all the new members as well.
Yeah, appreciate it. If you hated some of the play calls on Saturday, hit that like button, hit that sub button. I'm sure you'll be joining company here. No, appreciate everybody. We're chasing it down, so we're getting there. It's growing fast. Ron spared my ears with that advertisement because he had one that was more recent, but I'll say thank you for that. But yeah, appreciate everybody liking, subbing. Channel's growing. I mean, what did Chris' video do? 55K when I checked it. It's probably somewhere near 60 or 65 now. But yeah, no, y'all have been awesome. So appreciate you helping us grow.
Yeah, absolutely. A big shout out to everyone helping us grow. And Q, I don't know if the momentum's going to slow at all, but the momentum for the Buckeyes has slowed as they have their first loss of the season against the Indiana Hoosiers, the number 1 versus number 2 teams in the country. The Buckeyes come into this matchup 5-2 in 1 versus 2 matchup. This is the first time it's ever happened in a conference championship game in 108 games. And the Buckeyes dropped to 5-3 all time in these 1 versus 2 matchups. Q, we didn't really talk much about this game leading up into the week because there was just so much going on between the Brian Hartline news, between the victory over Michigan, everything going on with Penn State. So it's kind of just something in the back of our mind of, okay, the Buckeyes are going to just go handle business like they have against every other team. How were you feeling going into this game? Were you confident that the Buckeyes were going to get a victory?
Yeah, I mean, I felt like, and I've said it all season, I thought Indiana has been the best coached team in the country, given their talent level and like kind of where they come from and where they've grown the last couple of years. Like, I think Indiana is a very solid team, and obviously they proved that on Saturday. Right now, best team in the country if you go by ranking. Yeah, I mean, I felt like Ohio State would have to come in. I felt like the defense was going to show up like they always do. I didn't feel like Indiana really threatened me. Like they made a couple plays on Saturday, but you look up like 13 points. Okay, like I'm satisfied with that. I mean, I think the big issue here was the offense at times have struggled throughout the season. I mean, something I didn't expect was the pass protection to fall apart, but the offense has struggled, and we've questioned play calls in the red zone and how we've executed, and we didn't execute well on Saturday. And I felt like if you gave Indiana wasn't going to give you a chance to make mistakes and overcome those. And obviously Ohio State, and we also we talk about this all the time, but that middle eight, when we didn't score right before half and it came out, got the ball, didn't score right after half, I was like, oh, it's going to be trouble because you probably only got a couple possessions left. And you look at the opportunity to go up. At that time, you could have gone up 24-6, or you could have gone up 17-6 or 20-6. Like any of those would have won you the game. So Ohio State going flat, even 16-6. Any one of those would have won you the game. Ohio State blanks on 2 possessions, and that's the game for you right there. You got to execute, and obviously we'll get into it. But I mean, I felt comfortable coming into the game. But did I think this could happen? Yeah, if the offense showed us some of the mistakes they've shown through the season.
Yeah, it feels like every time we watch a Ryan Day loss, it looks exactly the same. He brought up the middle eight, conservative play calling going into half, and then a stalled drive coming out of the half, missed field goals, struggles in the red zone, difficulties with the right guard. Just an overall Ohio State struggle masterclass. I mean, these are all the things that we've talked about this team having issues with all year, and they all make an appearance in the biggest stage of the year. And all of the people that have pointed out all season, man, this Buckeye team hasn't played anybody. They go out and they play the number 1 team in the country, and all the things that the Buckeyes were able to get away with throughout a softer schedule throughout the year, they're not quite able to get away with against this Indiana Hoosiers team that proved to be worthy of the number 1 seed in the college football playoffs. They sacked the Buckeyes 5 times on Saturday. Q, what was the most shocking thing about this loss for you? Like, was with the expectation coming into this game that the Buckeyes were likely going to handle this Indiana team? We talked before the game, if the Buckeyes were to lose, it would be to a team like Indiana that has a quarterback that is able to challenge them vertically and willing enough to take the risk. Not only do you have the arm talent, but do you have the willingness to take the risk necessary? And I mean, Fernando Mendoza had the big time throws when they needed them.
Yeah, I mean, I thought he made a couple plays. I mean, I didn't feel like Ohio State got killed. I mean, obviously, the plays that you look at are going to be glaring. I mean, the Jay Matthews giving up the Lorenzo Styles deep pass, like, and obviously the touchdown, like, those you're going to look at like, damn, we got beat. But, like, if you look at it in a total book, I mean, I'm not going to come here and complain about calls and holding. I mean, we all watched the game. We saw the same thing. But you felt like Ohio State let Fernando Mendoza extend a couple plays, obviously use his legs. He made a couple, but again, you gift him 3 points from a Julian Sayin interception, which you can't have, especially don't throw it inside the red zone. That would be nice, but it happens. That was a grateful tip and obviously a good play by the safety. But outside of that, I mean, you really give up 10 points defensively, and you're like, I mean, if that's what a Heisman, because he's probably going to win a Heisman at this point, quarterback does to your defense, Ohio State should win this game 24-10. Like, Ohio State win this game 27-10. You just have too many weapons on offense to really give it up. And yeah, the most shocking thing was the amount of sacks. And like I knew it might be a struggle to run. I thought we ran the ball pretty decently. I mean, I thought Bo Jackson had a really good game, but the pass pro, it's like we traded one for the other. It's like, okay, we're gonna be able to run the ball today, guys. But pass pro against guys who really, you go Ohio State's defensive line of no names, guys you really don't know from Indiana, and they were causing hell back there. I mean, Julian Sayin was obviously seeming, I don't want to say he was rattled because it didn't feel rattled, but he just didn't have time to throw, and he didn't start making good decisions because he knew the pressure.
So you don't think that Julian Sayin was rattled at all today? You think this is just struggles that had nothing to do with the moment or the size of the game?
So I thought he grew into the game pretty decently, especially going more to the second half. But I also felt like this was one of those games where the level of play just raised from any game we've had this season. And it felt like one of those where it took time to adjust because Indiana is such a better team than any team we played, that it felt like a higher level football. And I mean, I feel like they had it offensively as well. They had to adjust to our defense, and you saw them start to make plays later in the game because they finally had that time to adjust. So I felt like both quarterbacks, these are the best two quarterbacks, everybody's going to call them that, had to grow into the game. Obviously, Mendoza made a couple more plays down the stretch, but I feel like Julian didn't necessarily have a bad. I would say the offensive line had a worse game than Julian. Did he miss some throws? Did he miss some opportunities? Yeah, I feel like that, and he could play better, but I didn't feel like he was rattled. I felt like more so the offensive line kind of fell apart. He just wasn't ready for that. It wasn't really not to have that time that he's had all season, because Julian Sayin has been back there all day, all season. And you have to, when you're not having that, you're not used to that. And obviously we have some routes that take a little bit of while. Like, it didn't look good for him, but I wouldn't exactly put that on him being rattled.
Q, I wanted to circle back to the beginning of the game. The first drive, Fernando Mendoza takes a massive shot from Caden Carey. He stays down for a moment. Your instant reaction in the moment?
Damn. That looked like it hurt, man. Caden Carey caught him with a nice shot, momentum going forward. I forget who I was watching the game with, but it was some girl I was watching the game with, and she was like, "Oh, he'll be fine. He'll get up." I'm like, you don't understand what that feels like. You play football, you took one of those hits where your momentum's going one way, you run into a brick wall, and it starts going the other. It does hurt. Obviously, I thought it was a good hit by Caden Carey. It's a quality hit. I didn't want him to be hurt or anything, but it took him a minute. He got back in the game. I felt like he was going to be fine, but I was like, damn, boys is hitting today. We hadn't seen pass pop until last season. Well, pass was certainly popping on Saturday. Caden Carey got it started.
The Buckeyes end up forcing a punt and get the ball back. I am, at this point, feeling great. I'm like, okay, Mendoza looks rattled. They just rocked him. I almost knocked him out of the game. And now the Buckeyes have the ball, and it's like, go time. This is the point that we've been waiting for all season. They're going to open this offense up. They're going to get things going. We're going to see the greatest show on turf, and they throw an interception.
Yeah. They edged you a little too much. You thought it was coming, but unfortunately, yeah, you didn't get that. Yeah, Julian Sayin with an early mistake. Wasn't really worried when he threw the pick. I mean, I thought that was like a tip from God. I was like, damn, that's a perfect tip just for them to pick it off. But yeah, it also brings to the point where like you just can't. And then the ball was late. He didn't see the defender, obviously, but you can't make those mistakes in the red zone. And a good team against Indiana didn't bite us, but most good teams will. Like, you can't rely on your defense to be like, all right, please just hold them to a field goal. Like, that's an early way to get down and obviously shift the momentum. So Matt Patricia and the crew did give up a field goal, but it's like we just saw this last week. Please stop throwing picks on the first or second play of the game.
Yeah, I mean, it's starting to become a trend. The Buckeyes are able to hold to a field goal, so you're feeling good at that point. The Buckeyes then go out and punt on their next drive, and then the Mendoza interception. And then at this point of the game, the Buckeyes are losing 3-0, but it's like, okay, we've seen this movie before. We watched the way this Michigan game started, not really getting anything going. The offense is struggling a little bit, but as soon as this offense gets rolling, the Buckeyes are going to be fine. The Buckeyes go out and score their lone touchdown of the game, a Carnell Tate touchdown from Julian Sayin. Things were looking spooky there in the red zone there for a second, too. I made the joke on our Bleacher Report postgame that the red zone monster had made a reappearance. The Buckeyes have been able to battle through it for most parts of the season without it really giving them any issues, but you could argue that it potentially cost them the game, the struggles that they had in the red zone multiple times. The Buckeyes had 3rd and 1 within the 15-yard line and came away with 0 points and 0 first downs both times.
Yeah, I think Ohio State ended the first half with like 0-4 on 3rd down, or like it was like 0-5, something like that. Like, it was abysmal for the 3rd down play calling, obviously, to try to get a first down. And again, you feel like there you should be able to run the ball, you should be able to get things done, and they just obviously weren't able to do it multiple times. And I mean, I thought the play calling in the red zone, I mean, obviously you scored with Carnell Tate. That worked well for us. If you knew that was the last touchdown Ohio State was going to score, you'd be like, well, damn, it's like a whole, it's a whole game to go. So that would be unfortunate. But yeah, I mean, you just feel like they got to get sharper in the red zone. And I remember I believe it's on the next drive, we had the big Jeremiah Smith catch. Just like we get down there, and obviously Julian Sayin misses Jeremiah for another touchdown he probably should have had close to the red zone. But you just feel like Ohio State, when they do that, they should just shoot themselves in the foot. I'm not blaming players. I'm not calling out players. I'm not going to put it on Bennett Christian or Jelani Thurman for coming in. But it's like, bro, when you take Jeremiah Smith and Carnell Tate off the field, I don't care what tight ends you have on the roster. Like, it shrinks in the defense. And they're like, I got one-on-one with Bennett Christian and Jelani Thurman and versus Carnell Tate and Jeremiah. I'll take that all day. And I'm sure they're probably super excited because Cignetti, they don't have a sideline camera. He's probably like, taking them out? Yes. Like, thank you, Jesus, because they're going to struggle to score. And it's been like that all season. And I just don't understand. I think we've been doing like tweet of the day for a little bit. I sent Ron my tweet right after the game on Saturday. I don't know if you have it, but it's just Ohio State lined up with like 50 tight ends. It's like, what? There's not even a number. There's not even 19 personnel because that's not a high enough number. So
I asked the question on Twitter, what is the point of running out 14 tight ends on the field if your right guard's going to miss his assignment anyways, and he's going to be watching our running back be tackled in the backfield?
Understandable. I mean, yeah.
Why are you going heavy if one liability within the line is able to blow up the entire play? Why not at least have, I don't know, one of the most frustrating plays in the entire game was the one where out of a heavy package, Jeremiah Smith, we ran a single route play. The only person that had a route was Jeremiah Smith, and he was covered. Then now what?
Yeah, because they're going to send hella help over there and be like, yeah, we'll take that away. Good luck beating us with anybody else. Another question. when we need to run the ball, game's in balance right now. Why are we running to the side of the offensive line that's been struggling all game? Like,
Anna texted me that. He asked me that in the middle of the game. Is there a reason that we're only running behind the right side of the line?
Like, it's a good question. It's the best we got right now. Work in progress. I get it. Let's run to the left. Like, we've seen the two on the left do pretty well. The three on the left are fine. Will Kazmarek can block. Okay, we understand that now. Let's throw him over there. Just run to the left and run away from that side. Like, play tight ends. Do that.
It's kind of you to lump Carson Hinsman in with the left side of the offensive line. I wanted to take a look at the stats of this game. Was billed as the Heisman matchup between Fernando Mendoza and Julian Sayin, and at one point during the game, Diego Pavia became the leader for the Heisman Trophy betting odds based on the way these two guys were performing. They go into halftime at 10-6. The Buckeyes are able to get that touchdown. Fernando Mendoza adds another field goal. An odd end to the first half. Q, were you surprised by how conservative the Buckeyes were going into half?
Very, and the amount of time wasting. It was just like, there was no sense of urgency in that first half. And that's the moment you really felt like this is the time to get control. I think I talked about it a couple minutes ago, but Ohio State with the ball back, 2 minutes and some change here. Going down, you get the 2-minute warning is also with a timeout. You felt like this is the time to grab the game. If you can go down and score here, even a field goal, coming out of halftime will give you another chance to score. You could have really put the game away at that point. They were very conservative, not good play calling. It was a mess, and that's where I felt like Ohio State really lost the game. Like, everybody will point to the end of the game, and yes, if you're gonna run, if you were gonna throw the ball to Bennett Christian at the end of the game, you could have gave them the trophy earlier. But like, it feels like that moment right there is where you lost the game at, because you had what Ryan Day always calls the middle eight. Score at the end of the first half, get the ball in the second half, go score, put the game away. You really could have, and when they didn't, shout out to Indiana, they stopped them, and obviously their defense had a really good game. But you felt like that is where the game was lost. It was too conservative, and again, it was just no. And we talked about the distractions like midweek. Obviously, a lot has happened this week for Ohio State. Coming off the high of Michigan, obviously coaching changes, all that good stuff, people calling, or even Matt Patricia was trying to get snatched. Like, I understand all that, but like, they came out with like no juice, and you felt like I mean,
I disagree.
The defense
I think the
fine.
Buckeyes came out with a lot of juice. I feel like, honestly, and that's something I want to talk about.
Yeah.
It felt maybe I don't know, maybe both of us observed this differently. I felt like the Buckeyes defense came out with a lot of juice early on in the game and looked like the more physical team, honestly, almost the entire first half, and then almost like a complete role reversal in the second half. Indiana came out and felt like the more physical team, the hungrier team, and the team that wanted it more in the second half. Early on, I thought the Buckeyes were just any moment going to snatch that game with their physicality, with the talent that they have, and it just never materialized.
Yeah, you caught me in the middle. I was going to say the defense did. The defense game played fine. Like, I thought they had plenty of juice. It's the offense that you felt like at times were sleepwalking. And again, I don't put it on Jeremiah Smith and Carnell Tate. I thought they were themselves. It's really and I thought Bo Jackson played really well, but you felt like the play calling had no juice. You felt like Julian Sayin was really like a little too like J. Cool. Boys were just like, okay, you're cool and all. Like, we need you to amp it up a little bit. And I thought he grew into the game a little later, but it just felt like the offense really like, I won't say like no juice, but it very felt like we were driving through a neighborhood with a bunch of stop signs. Like, it was like, okay, some good. Oh, no. Oh, okay, some good. Oh, no. Okay. Oh, we're going to get going eventually. No. We're just going to try to kick a field goal. So it's like, it felt like a lot of bumps in the road that you never kind of got that play calling that like really speeded it up. And something that we haven't really talked about a lot because Ryan Day called it out very early in the year is just the slow starts from Ohio State offensively. And it really hasn't bit us in the back because we haven't played teams with the talent, but like, it's playoff ball now. We're going to be playing a lot more talented teams than we have through most of the year. I mean, I feel like we're prepared for it, but like the thing about Ohio State and what made them so good last year, especially in the playoffs, like they started fast and they were moving and they were able to get touchdowns. And you just felt like the juice of the play calling, even if it didn't end in a touchdown, you felt the energy. You were like, okay, we're going to score. It's just a matter of time. Bro, we could have played 3 more quarters. Ohio State might have had 13. Like, it just didn't feel good as far as the offensive game plan. And it falls on Ryan Day, it falls on Brian Hartline, but that's how it felt. It just felt like it was like, like Ron, one of those soccer games. You could have played for 180 minutes. No one was going to score. Like, that's how it felt for Ohio State. It's like, no matter how many plays you run, we're going to get in the red zone and fall apart, and you might get a field goal out of that, or he might kick it into the stands outside the uprights. So that's what it felt like.
Jim Knowles has to be sitting at home with PTSD seeing this 13-10 score. Like, they hired me to come be the DC at Ohio State to be paired with offensive mastermind Ryan Day. You'd think if I could hold a team to 13, we would find a way to win. And now Matt Patricia's in that same position looking around like, hey, I did my job. Like, I know.
You gave him 3.
We gave him 3. The Buckeyes get blanked in the second half. They don't score at all in the second half. Q, some of these team statistics are pretty damning when you look at them. I mean, the third down efficiency for the Buckeyes, 4 of 12, but you also see Indiana 50% on their third down conversions. The lack of ability, you see the Buckeyes struggle with the third down efficiency, and they're still in the game. It's like you have to find a way for the Buckeyes to convert. The amount of times that we got stopped on 4th down in the red zone, the amount of times that the Buckeyes came away with not field goals. Q, I want to talk about this second half. The Buckeyes score 0 points, partly because they miss a chip shot field goal, 27-yard field goal, essentially a college extra point. Your thoughts when they missed that field goal?
Yes, my thoughts was Ron thinking right now. You're the field goal guy. Don't ask me. What did you think when Ohio State missed the extra point that was worth 3?
That I have a friend who is now 33 years old, has vertigo, and works in a steel mill, could go out there in a pair of boots and kick that field goal for Ohio State and not even bat an eye. The fact that we are missing essentially extra point field goals, it is a mental thing at this point. And the fact that Ryan Day keeps putting this kid in this position to fail, it's on Ryan Day. I tweeted after not after the game, in the moment, I tweeted immediately, Michigan should have been his last game. Why he's still out there kicking when the game's on the line? It's on Ryan Day. What did Urban Meyer say about the time that the kicker missed the kick in the game against the team up north?
Wait, what did he say?
He talked about he saw his kicker start crying after he missed a kick against the team up north and was like, all right, I guess we're not kicking any more field goals. And it's like, you've already missed 2 field goals against the team up north. I don't know at what point do you like, all right, I've lost enough games.
Yeah.
I'm done trying this.
No, I think the worst. People are going to be on Jaden Fielding's head. Like, I don't blame him. It's not his fault. We've had 3 years.
No, I kind of.
I mean, but I'm saying
it's an extra point. It's an extra point. No,
we've had 3 years to find another. We've done this for. You see the B-roll of just right before he missed the field. We had 3 years to go get a kicker, and again, the first year we did have one that. What did he win? Almost won the award. It just was a close field goal kicker. The year we lost to Georgia when he just sailed it. But like, at least we have a decent one that year. But like, we had 3 years to find a guy to come out and nail field goals under pressure. And still, Ohio State has lost plenty of games, almost all of the games they've lost, because they don't have
40% of Ryan Day's losses include a missed field goal.
Yeah, because he can't find a kicker, and it's like, bro, after 3 off seasons, like you could have hired Ron at this point. Like, go get you somebody who's gonna get a kicker on the field and make him, and let that not be the reason we lose. And I'm with you. At what point do you stop kicking field goals? I'm much more comfortable throwing a 1-on-1 to Jeremiah Smith or Carnell Tate, just throwing a fade ball than kicking a field goal at this point. And also, too, you're the number 1 team in the nation. It's 4th and 1. You're in the red zone. Why are you trying to tie the game up and give Indiana 2 minutes to go down and score and win the game? At that point, like I get you trust your defense, but you're the number 1 team in the nation with the 2 best receivers in college football and the Heisman quarterback. Give me something. Yeah, hey, Carnell Tate, go out there and just get open. We're going to throw you the ball. Go get open. Like, just give me something.
Kurt Cignetti had the Heisman quarterback. Q, it has to be brought up and it has to be addressed, but it's like it's so hard to criticize the defense because it feels like at the end of the day, you're Ryan Day, you have Jeremiah Smith, you have Carnell Tate, you should be able to score 14 points. But when you look at the performances by Lorenzo Styles and Jermaine Matthews, it seems like Indiana saw something on film that they felt comfortable attacking both of those players, and they did it with success. Were you surprised by the struggles of those 2 players on Saturday?
Not so much Lorenzo Styles. I mean, I think we felt like through the season, he's the one guy who, if he's playing well, his defense is really outstanding. If he's struggling a little bit, he will get targeted. And I'm not surprised at all. Indiana came out and was like, yeah, I don't know if I want to throw to all these guys, but we'll take 3 and see what happens and get those matchups. I didn't feel like he had a really bad game. I mean, I thought he got, and you get your thoughts on this, that pass interference call was ticky-tacky. I thought, I'm like, you could call that. You also could not, especially when you're letting guys play. Like, you didn't drag them down, you didn't tackle them.
Lorenzo Styles?
Yeah, like on the deep ball where he got the pass interference call, and I'm like, he does touch.
I felt like they were going to call it on one or the other. He kind of got pancaked between the 2 defenders. I thought it was a bit ticky-tacky, but more so when that happened, the first thing that I thought was, oh, well, if they just got that PI, they're going to get a completion on that type of pass at some point in the game, and what do you know, they come out right from half, and they complete a deep shot, very similar to the play that we saw them get the pass interference on. It seemed like Indiana had a plan, and they were very comfortable attacking certain aspects of this defense.
Yeah, you've seen that, and I would have liked him to have safety over the top help because you kind of could figure that was coming back. It wasn't left on 1-on-1. They completed a pass. So I don't think it was a terrible game by Lorenzo, but obviously they see someone from they want to attack. As far as Jermaine Matthews, I mean, I can live with Jermaine Matthews getting beat 1-on-1 on a fade ball. It's
that was Cam's exact point. Like, hey, like at some point you're like, hey, you hate to see it, and it's like, man, they look bad in the moment as individual plays, but it's like, you mean to tell me we're gonna lose a game because Jermaine Matthews and Lorenzo Styles gave up 3 damn catches? There's no way. Like the Buckeyes still held them to 13 points. You have Jeremiah Smith, Bo Jackson, arguably the best freshman running back in the country, allegedly one of the best lines in the country, Heisman contending quarterback, Jeremiah Smith, Carnell, Tate, Brandon Ennis, 5-star receivers sitting on the bench. You can't find me 14 points. I don't care how many struggles, like whatever you want to say about Jermaine Matthews, the catches on Jermaine Matthews, the struggles by Lorenzo Styles. At the end of the day, that defense still only gave up 13 points. And while they have things that they need to clean up, how don't we get 14 points?
Yeah, that's my thing. I mean, if that's how we lose,
or 13,
game,
I would have settled for 13. Damn it,
me too.
The fact that we didn't even get a chance to continue to play.
Yeah, I mean, I feel that way. I'm like, if that's how you're going to lose a game, like they're going to give up catches eventually. They haven't given up much all season. We call them blanket society. People will come out and maybe like, oh, we got it BIA. It's like, did you really? Like, they didn't give up much. So I'll live with it. I think Jermaine Matthews will be fine. He knows it. I mean, I see him replying to people on Twitter, so he's more than aware. He gave up a couple catches. He'll be better for it. I mean, don't want to give him those plays, but he'll be fine. I'm not worried about him. As far as Lorenzo Styles, I don't think he had a terrible game. He gave up some plays, but again, now he's going to be the mark. You got to give him some safety help. They did that earlier. They got the PI call, but the safety help was there, and that was ticky-tacky. So you felt like you want to give them help and obviously some support, especially going over the middle. So, I mean, I can live with anything the defense really gave up. I thought the defensive line played excellent. I thought they couldn't run for any. Then they got a couple decent runs in there, but the defensive line really controlled the line of scrimmage, also getting held in the process. So I was cool with them. Again, it's on the offensive side of the ball. If you imagine losing a natty and you gave up 13 points, like it's just like any type of big game, and you're like, we gave up 13 and lost. You're gonna walk away and be like, who's on our offense again? Oh, first rounder. Like, what are we doing? So it's like that you got to point inside the offensive side of the ball, and you felt like, and Ron, you can tell me if I'm right here. Like, I felt like while Indiana did make the plays in the moment, that it felt like a very like don't lose the game type of game from them. Like they made some plays, and I would give them credit for what they made, but they didn't do nothing spectacular. They didn't do nothing like, wow, you didn't really feel at the moment like, oh, they're so much better. They're balling.
I don't think it was a don't lose the game type of moment. I think it was just two great teams facing off.
Yeah, but it felt like they never really grasped control of the game. It felt like they never.
Yeah,
really
but I don't think that was by choice. I think that was.
Yeah,
I think Ohio State dictated that more than a conservative approach by Indiana. I'm not sure.
I mean, I don't want to say it was conservative post because throwing a fade ball on a fourth down is a ballsy call. Like I'll give credit for that. That's something Ohio State has done in the past. Like that's a ballsy call. So yeah, I don't want to say like they played conservative. They played not to lose, but it felt like a team much more so that like wasn't really gonna grasp the win unless you let them have it. It felt like Ohio State had those moments where it's like we can really go grasp the win and there's not gonna be much they can do about it. And that's where Ryan Day tightened up, play calling or Brian Hartline, he calls the plays, got conservative. And they didn't really do much to go take the game. And that's what it felt like. It felt like Indiana didn't really take the game, but it was like, oh, well, if it's here and it's just going to roll, the ball's going to roll right by me, I'll pick it up. Versus Ohio State was like, we're not doing anything out of character to go and win the game. Let's just put it on the defense again. No matter what, 30 seconds left, no timeouts, they'll get a stop. Don't worry about it. So, I mean, that's how it felt.
Q, this Indiana team gets its first win over Ohio State in both of our lifetimes, ends one of the longer winning streaks over a single team in the Big Ten. The Buckeyes it's been 30 years since Indiana has beaten Ohio State. Q, this Indiana team seems like it is a Cinderella team. We talked about Sig's Cinderella run, and it feels like a Cinderella team in college football. What he's been able to do at Indiana in the past 2 years, and the turnaround has been incredible. And now they're going to be challenging something that has been a long-standing tradition in college sports, and that's the Bud Elliott blue chip ratio that says that essentially every national champion in the modern era has had a blue chip ratio above 50%. And this year, this Indiana team, I believe, has a blue chip ratio of 8%. Hugh, is this the year that the blue chip ratio dies?
I hope not. I hope Ohio State bounces back. I mean, I feel like, again, I've said it all season. Indiana is a really well-coached team. I mean, obviously, they've shown moments where they can turn on the gas and obviously beat opponents. I think the stretchers are going to have to run. They're going to play some really talented teams. And you never know who's going to really put it together, given moment, or any given game. I feel like Indiana can win the Natty.
And that's what I was getting at. Not necessarily the fact that they're going to win the Natty, but I feel like as you look at this team with an 8% blue chip ratio, I think they proved on Saturday that they are more than capable of winning a national championship. They have, whether it may be the recruiting ranking talent, or at the end of the day, they have the on Saturday talent to compete. It may not be the on three or the scout or rival, whatever recruiting service that you're using these days. It may not have them ranked highly, but if you're talking about a Saturday talent composite, they're surely highly ranked if they're putting up 6 sacks against Oregon and 5 against the Buckeyes. This is a uber talented team that is well coached, has been developed by this current Cignetti staff, and at the end of the day, whether they win a national championship or not, I think it must be nice to have a high blue chip ratio. I think we are inching closer and closer to the days of that might not matter. Whoever has the most talented team and how they acquire it has continued to change, whether it be you're not loading up these teams of 5 stars sitting behind 5 stars, sitting behind 5 stars. You're having these non-traditional teams pop up in non-traditional ways, where you have Curt Cignetti having a team of guys that have played under for him for years that he brings from JMU to Indiana with him, continues to develop them, stacks and adds talent that was already there existing from that Indiana team, and then adds in the portal a guy like Fernando Mendoza from Cal, a now Heisman winner. Are we ready? Is he the Heisman on the Buckeye Roast program now?
He deserves it.
We are in such a new landscape of college football that this idea of recruiting rankings and blue chip ratio, if you're out there snagging all the guys that the recruiting rankings missed in the transfer portal and putting the best team of Misfit toys together, it doesn't really matter what on 3 had them ranked when they were 17.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you 100%. But I mean, it really comes down to something we've talked about even in our conversations of the Big Ten versus the SEC. And obviously, the SEC has a lot more talent if you just count up blue chip rosters and ranked players. But the coaching, I mean, no one exemplifies that more than Curt Cignetti. And you look at Saturday, like, yeah, we have far more talent. You know what also happened Saturday? Ryan, they got out coached. Like Curt Cignetti and his team were more prepared. They didn't make mistakes when they needed to be aggressive. They did it successfully. And if your team is going to get out coached, I don't care who you have on your sideline. Like we talked about it in plenty of Ohio State games. Like, yeah, we had more talent. We didn't use them. We didn't use them properly. So like, if you're going to get out coached, like, and that was a part of why, like, we talk about blue chip ratio, like, Alabama in their run was so successful because they had pro-level coaches and they had pro-level talent. When only one of those shows up, it's a recipe for a loss. And for Ohio State, only one of those showed up. The pro talent showed up. The coaching on the offensive side, I don't think was there, and that's a recipe for a loss. So if Indiana is going to outcoach every team they play going down the stretch here, then yes, they more certainly can win, and the blue chip ratio is not going to matter. They have enough talent. Like you said, they have the Saturday ratio that shows up. If those guys aren't going to make mistakes, Fernando Mendoza is going to make enough plays to get them ahead and hold on to a win, and the other team's coach is going to get out-coached, they're going to win every game they play. So I think that's a little bit of an underrated part when just people just talk about the blue chip ratio. Like, that's great. We've talked about plenty of coaches that find ways to lose games. So if that's going to happen, in the feeling I have with Curt Cignetti, and I felt all season, like, he's not going to lose the game. You can go take the game. You can go win it. You can let your talent shine and, like, call the plays, but he ain't going to lose it. He's not going to give it to you. So if that's going to happen, they certainly most can win the Natty and shatter the blue chip ratio rule that exists in college football.
Hugh, you mentioned multiple times that you felt like the staff was out-coached, and I asked a question on the post-game to Chris Drew that I also want to ask you. With everything going on, do you think this staff was potentially distracted with, the rumors of Matt Patricia being contacted by Penn State, Brian Hartline accepting the job at USF, Chris Henry Jr. saga dragging on throughout the week, the Caden Dixon-Wyatt flip, the Legend Bay situation. So much going on while the Buckeyes are preparing for a Big Ten championship, and Ryan Day has spent the entire offseason campaigning and complaining about the current college football schedule and how it makes no sense. And it feels like if anyone falls more victim to it than anyone else, it's Ryan Day, because he's constantly competing for a championship while having all of these things going on, and it feels like he's spinning 10 plates at a time while, you have Marcus Freeman who's just hanging out, opting out of bowl games.
Well, he ain't got nothing to worry about now.
All the time with the world, bro. He's, you know what I mean? He's picking up new skills, new hobbies, and Ryan Day is like, I'm trying to game plan while my offensive coordinator is also the head coach of another school, and I'm trying to recruit his position room as well. So many things going on. Cue a message from Brian Hartline as well.
Bulls Nation, how we doing, guys? Really excited. Just jumped on the plane, getting ready to head south. Cannot wait till we be around you guys. Cannot wait to continue to build. USF's about to explode. I can't wait for it to happen. See you guys soon, and go Bulls.
USF was also not only introduced to their new head coach, but they were introduced in the comment section to the lunatic fringe, who was none too happy to see Brian Hartline smiling on a private jet the day after the Buckeyes lose the Big Ten championship game. Q, the lunatic fringe is going to continue to do lunatic fringe things, but I think it is fair to ask the question, do you think the distractions played a role in the Buckeyes' loss on Saturday?
I mean, yeah, I'm sure there was plenty of distractions this week. I mean, of course, Ryan Day, the Chris Henry Jr. saga, like it did drag on. I'm sure that certainly didn't help on Saturday, but it's if it wasn't the same problems we've seen most of the year, it'd be like, yeah, it was a little uncharacteristic. Wasn't really Ohio State performance. Like, obviously, there's some distractions. They just didn't play well. Like, it can happen. But it's been the same things that we've complained about like most of the year. Am I sure Brian Hartline was distracted? Sure, he's a head coach of a new program. Much earned that job. Congrats to him. Brian Hartline has called the 14 package in the red zone most of the season. Like, we've seen that a lot. So it wasn't like it wasn't an uncharacteristic loss. The problem was it was a very characteristic loss for Ohio State. And if you asked us if Indiana won the game, how would they lose? I'd be like, probably went to the red zone, played 15 tight ends, didn't throw to Jeremiah Smith or Carnell. Tate probably took them off the field and lost the game and didn't score enough points because I felt like Matt Patricia's crew would be fine. Like, and that's what we saw. So you can use that as an excuse. Brian Hartline, the first person to get a job at Ohio State as a coordinator at another school and leave. Like, Tom Herman did it, and we ran and won a natty. I mean, Chip Kelly, probably wasn't getting calls during the run. I don't know, but was probably waiting for an NFL job during that whole run last season. Like, he's not the only one. You still have a job to do. You need to show up and perform. And I'm sure Ryan Day and Urban Meyer probably dealt with plenty of craziness around signing day. That's not a reasonable enough excuse to lose for Indiana. And Nick Saban lost his staff every season. The run on they had, they won plenty of natties and plenty of conference championships, and he never came out and said, I was distracted. I had a 5-star that might not join the program and had to call him. Like, no, I got him, and we just won another SEC title. Like, I mean, that's part of that comes with it. I'd rather not be Ryan Day on vacation like Marcus Freeman now figuring out what to do with his extra 4 months of time because they're not playing in a bowl game. Like, this is the
probably
price.
Going to Turkey if he's using his time wisely. And I'm one to talk.
Again, so or get stored up a little more paint. But
That's what I'm saying. I'm follically challenged just like Marcus Freeman, but instead of using shoe polish on my forehead, I wear the same hat every day.
Fair enough. But no, I mean, it's Ohio State just didn't offensively play well on Saturday. That's why they lost the game. You can name it for the distractions. I mean, Chris Henry Jr. is probably like, man, I hope they don't play 7 tight ends when I get there. I'm trying to get the ball. Or hell, I might want to convert the tight end while I have a chance. I am 6'6".
That's what I'm saying. He's tell everybody that he's a tight end. Oh, what did you just say, Q?
Don't do it. Don't do it. Anyway.
Hey guys, big thank you for 60 6,700 subscribers. It's been awesome. You guys have been kind of crushing every goal, and I'm excited for the continued growth. Look, every like, every comment, every share, all of that helps us. Every sub, that all helps us as we try to get to 10K before the year ends. So do want to kick it back to Ron and Q, but thank you guys again.
You did that.
Yeah, that was on me. I'm sorry, y'all. But that was probably Ryan Day's last pitch that got him over Dan Led. He was like, well, you know, coach, I'm probably gonna go to Oregon, offer me a good deal. I'm gonna get a new shoe deal, and until then I can wear the Naeem 3s because those are just dropping. But like, I think I'll go to Oregon. Wait, hold on. You know, if you do grow a couple more inches, we play a lot of tight ends here. Like, no matter what, you're good. You might get the ball more if you grow a couple more inches and we put you to tight end. So they might have swung the door open, but unfortunately for Ohio State, that was not the answer on Saturday. I'm not blaming the distraction, man. Indiana was a better team on Saturday. They played better ball, offensively especially, and we lost because we made the same mistakes we always do.
Yeah, I mean, maybe if the Buckeyes want to win in the play, you know how they always say, if you want to beat the Buckeyes, just wear a Michigan helmet. Like if you want them to throw the ball to Jeremiah or Carnell Tate, like maybe we just throw them Jelani Thurman's jersey. Like,
I mean, I agree that would work. And I will say the one silver lining, if it is it sucks not to win the Big Ten championship, not to be king of the North again for the 5th straight season. But, I mean, it's a gut check. Last season, we had that Michigan game. It wasn't very fun. A lot of things that had creeped back up with a really stacked offense, and we're like, why are we doing this? Maybe another player's only meeting, maybe another talk, maybe just a wide receiver's own 6 meeting.
But does it hit the same?
I mean, probably not, but it's just like, bro, throw us a damn ball. Stop taking me out. Like, I'm a first rounder. Stop taking me out when we get inside the red zone. And if we're going to I say this, we can lose games.
It's like you cheat once and you get a couple therapy and it's like everything's good and it's like, all right, cool. And then you cheat again. It's like, all right, we're not going to just keep going back every time you cheat. Like, you're just a cheater at this point. Like, I mean, it doesn't hit the same.
I get it. I'm with you. Look, I'm just going to say this. If we're going to lose a game, I much rather lose it trying to throw to Carnell Tate, try to throw to Jeremiah Smith. Let it even. I'm cool with that. No, they got to stop. We lost the game. What I'm not cool with is they throwing to me. Like, don't do that. Like, go to you. Lose a game, lose it like playing your best players and giving them opportunity to go make a play. You lose a game like that, I'm cool with it. Lose a game like we lost Saturday, like by a kicker and throwing to the tight ends or playing 50 times in the red zone. I'm not cool with that. That's just, you're giving it away. And that's what I'm not happy with.
Q, I'm not cool. I'm not cool with that either, but I am cool with the fact that the Buckeyes are in the playoffs because things could always be worse. You could be a Notre Dame fan.
Certainly it's going to be Miami or Notre Dame. So, number 10.
No! Are you shitting me?
Without Saturday, Notre Dame had been ranked ahead of them.
Are you fucking kidding me?
That dude walked off camera to yell that, and I think honestly it would have been better if he just stayed on camera to yell at because he walked off like he might have pooped his pants.
Yeah, remember that? The classic.
It's the Notre Dame special. You know how like the Ryan Day special involves scheming up the tight ends when you have a generational wide receiver standing over there confused why he's not getting the ball? Yeah. That's the Notre Dame special, poop in your pants on a podcast.
Walking off camera. I'll be back, y'all.
I'll be back. Q, but that's all I have for us today. We had a couple of notes in the intro that we planned on getting to: the Ryan Day post game, the college football playoff bracket. Spoiler alert: the Buckeyes are at 2. We'll talk about it more tomorrow. But the most important thing, Notre Dame is left out, and a potential matchup between Ohio State and Miami could be brewing, but we will get to all of that tomorrow. Until then, Q, let the people know where they can find you.
Yeah, sorry about the game on Saturday, everybody, but appreciate you hitting the sub. We are growing at a.
You weren't playing?
It wasn't on me, but I'm sure they suffered like we did. Like, what the fuck are we doing? Anyway, appreciate the subs. We got a week to talk about it. Obviously, we get to watch all 22, break it down, and watch it, talk more about it. But we're in the playoffs. There's still a chance to go back-to-back is out there. There was a time to lose. Is now, because we can't lose no more after this. So get it out the way now, hopefully. Fingers crossed. But, yeah, hit that sub button, hit that like button, hit those comments. There's a lot to talk about. Let us know how you felt about the play call on Saturday. Let us know how you felt about the game. Let us know your confidence level going forward into the playoffs as we have the number 2 seed. All that stuff, 7 words, does help a lot. So if you can do that, it's much appreciated. If you want to find me, I'm City Boy Quentin on Twitter. I'm Flying at Johnson on Instagram, and I'm crying off screen after the game. Trying to wipe the tears away and do this podcast. But we'll be fine, man. Ron, where can they find you at?
They can find me sleeping in literally 4 minutes as soon as the show ends. Other than that, they can catch me right here Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern, right here on the Dead Air Sports YouTube channel for the Buckeye Roast, right here with my guy, Q. You can catch me in the Bleacher Report out for an instant reaction after every Ohio State game, hopefully more than one this the rest of the season. With Chris Drew for instant reactions for all Ohio State games in the Ohio State team stream in the Bleacher Report app. And you can also catch me on Twitter at 2Ts. It's 2_TEES. Despite the loss, you know how this thing ends, Q. It's always go Bucks. And of course, OH.
IO.
I'm not playing a hype video, though.